Welcome back, everybody. Today's episode is as much volume as we possibly can. So we're going to do the greatest number of exercises that we've done so far. And we're going to do our 1-minute circuits. We're going to get a lot in, so let's get warmed up and get ready to go. Let's do my favorite and our basic warm-up for the day. We're going to do our multi-directional lunge patterns. So again, follow along. I've done this one before, and of course, if you've worked with me, you've done this more times than you probably want. So we're going to do our 6 points, okay? Just follow along. You don't have to count. We're just going to move. Okay, sagittal plane here. Frontal plane or lateral movement. Keep the heels down, toes straight ahead. And now rotate. Try to turn that toe out a little bit. Turn your head with your spine, with the rest of your body, if you feel safe doing it and comfortable doing it. Okay, if you feel a little dizzy, look straight ahead and just turn out as much as you possibly can. Okay, so again, we're going to go through several rounds of this, okay, just to get the internal core temperature elevated and then get the joints warmed in multiple directions. Okay, so this is one that you could also do, you could watch a 30-minute program and do a couple of rounds of this for 5 minutes while you're watching. Never hurts to get multi-directional movement. This is what keeps us balanced on walking on ice and a little more sure-footed, gets the joints to stabilize in all these different planes of motion. So this is a great one to do anytime you like. And you don't have to go very deep. Even if you can lunge deeper than what I'm doing right now, don't worry about that. Just get the movement in. We do forward walking all day long. And so it's good to get some variety of the other directions. Okay, let's do 2 more rounds. Last one. Okay, we'll do a little something for the upper body and the trunk. Real simple. Let's do 10 arm circles forward. Okay. Don't strain. Just nice, easy movement. Okay, and we'll do 10 backwards. Okay, now, lastly, you're going to hug yourself. So each time I want you to alternate the arms, okay? Reach back as far as you can. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then finally, let's get some trunk rotation. Okay, so don't just swing your arms and your shoulders, okay? Because otherwise, the trunk of my body and my spine are not going to get the benefit. So actually rotate from your trunk. Turn your head with your body, again, unless you feel dizzy. Otherwise, you can keep it looking on a focal point on the wall or what have you. But get some rotation in. Get that spine warmed up. A few more. And now we're ready to work, so let's get started. Hi everyone, so as I mentioned, I want to do a lot of volume today. So I'm going to go through 1 round of our 8 exercises. So these are exercises that we've done before, and then we're going to kind of put them all together. And we've never done 8 different exercises in one session, but I want to do that today. And we're going to go through 1 round, and I really want to break things down so that I can kind of, if someone's watching for the first time, I can really break it down how to do every exercise in the proper way and give you all the little tips. So I'll be talking a little bit, but feel free at the end if you want to re-watch this one, or if you can remember or want to write down the exercises. If you want to go through another full round yourself, that's great. So this will take, 8 minutes of exercises. I'll talk a little bit and we'll, have a break to go in between exercises. So probably about a 15-minute workout when it's all said and done. So every exercise will be 1 minute. So our exercises, we're going to do a squat, okay? And remember, with our squat, we can do it several different ways. I've taught it with touching down to a chair. I've taught it where you can actually sit completely if that's how you feel comfortable and stand up. Just make sure that your feet are about shoulder width. If you feel a little more comfortable going a little outside of that, and you need to toe out a little bit in your squat, that's fine. But I want to try to stay away from a really narrow squat. I got a lot more sure-footedness and, stability with a little bit wider feet, okay? But you don't want to go too wide because you want to be able to keep the weight in your heels. So when I squat, if I want to use the stable surface like we've talked about, or you're using a countertop in your kitchen, if you have a really heavy, sturdy dining table, that could work, a railing of your second floor or whatever, anything that's not going to move when you put your weight down on it. So, and you can also use a chair behind you. You can double it up. You can use the chair and you can use the stable surface for your squat. But you want to avoid this, okay? So when I watch people squat, they're really knee dominant when they squat and their heels have to come up. So if you are trying to get really deep to impress me, which I can't see you anyway, I'd rather you get less depth by keeping the heels connected to the floor than trying to go deeper and deeper and deeper and lift your heels up, okay? So heel contact, I say it a million times, but it's really, really important, okay? So squat, then our push-up. Another important piece of this is don't elevate your shoulders, okay? We don't want to stress your neck, so when you're done with a set of push-ups, your neck shouldn't be in pain. And then you kind of imagine squeezing something with your shoulder blades, okay? But don't elevate, and your heels don't have to be on the floor, okay? You can come up onto your toes. And another key point is you can do partial push-ups. So you don't have to go all the way down. You can, as long as you're following the rules by keeping your shoulders depressed, squeezing your shoulder blades at the bottom, you can do a partial push-up like this. Only thing you want to avoid is don't arch in your back too much, okay? So I'm still recruiting the same muscles here, okay, by doing partial push-up. Next exercise, number 3, is the reverse lunge, okay? And you're going to alternate that for the entire minute. If you want to step away from your surface and try, doing a little bit on your own, you can. But remember, just like the squat, that front grounded leg, that heel needs to be down on the floor. If I'm doing this, then I'm putting all that pressure right into my knee. I want to stay out of my knee. I want to use my hips and my core to do the lunge, okay? Now, we're going to do the agility ladder. Now, if you still have this set up, I gave the options of using, masking tape on the floor. You don't have to make a complete square. You could just put the rungs of the ladder, or if you use books or whatever you use. If you don't have anything, totally okay. Because it's really more about, this particular exercise is more about the lateral movement anyway. So don't worry if you don't have anything down. Just get the length roughly of this, which is probably about 8 feet, okay? We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or in, out, in, out. Okay, so I'm just advancing. So if I'm doing this without, real easy just to start and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? But if you have this laid out, then great, you're ahead of the game. So next is our curl and press. Okay, we've done this a lot, but don't try and get it as high as you can and arch the back to get there, okay? Because you want to have your hands forward. So if I can bring my arms all the way up, okay, and my head is forward and I can lock out my elbows, great. If I can't get all the way up, it's okay to stop right here, okay? Because I don't want any pressure in your lumbar spine, real important. If you have trouble going overhead, then just stay with a curl. It's totally fine, okay? Because sometimes it's painful to go overhead, or maybe you have a restriction where you can't go overhead. Don't worry about that. Our swing or our hip hinge that we've done, that's our next movement. And it's really about this bending and to the hip extension. So hip hinge to hip extension. So it's a little bit different than squat because I'm hinging at my waist more. Where my squat is I'm staying a little more upright. With my hinge, I'm bending forward a little bit more without rounding my shoulders. So if I'm going to initiate picking something up off the floor, I want to be in that hinged position, okay? So it's really hard to squat with your back straight and go all the way and pick something up off the floor. So I want to use my back, but in a healthy way, and use my legs to reach down to get something off the floor. Okay, so our swing here, and just lift it to, chest level. Okay, our lateral lunges, you can use your stable surface to get a little deeper than what we use in the warm-up. Okay, here we're going to alternate for 1 minute, and then we're going to do our rotations. Okay, but this time we're going to do a minute in this direction, pause, and then we'll do a minute in the opposite direction. So we have our squat. We have whichever version you want to use. We have our push-up. We have our reverse lunge, the agility ladder drill that we're going to do, the curl and press, our swing, lateral lunges, and then our dumbbell rotations, okay? So actually it'd be 9 minutes of exercise because we're doing the rotation in the opposite directions. So let's get started. We're going to do 1 minute each. I'll get the timer started here. And 3, 2, 1, go. Remember, keep the weight in your heels, okay? Deep as you feel comfortable going. If this is how deep you're going, that's fine. Just keep the heels loaded and the glutes loaded. Up tall every time, halfway. Three, 2, 1, switch. Going to the push-up. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Be careful when you're doing this not to crank on your neck, okay? So don't let that neck dip. Don't look too high. You want to keep your spine neutral on these. Keep your shoulders depressed. Don't raise up. Halfway. Three, 2, 1, and switch. Reverse lunges, alternating, front heel down. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, same thing with this. Doesn't matter how deep you go, as long as that front heel doesn't peel up from the ground. Okay? Up tall every time. Halfway. Three, 2, 1, switch. All right, going to our agility ladder. Ready? Back and forth, a whole minute. Go. In, out, in, out. 1, 2, 3. Okay, start again. Halfway. And don't rush it. The focus is accuracy, not speed. I don't care how quick you make it. Three, 2, 1. Nice job. Curl and press. Ready, and go. Remember, don't crank up too high to where I have to arch my back to get there, okay? It's a perfectly good curl. I've got neutral knee, neutral hips. I'm not locked out. I don't have the pelvic tilt, because that's just gonna put that pressure right in my low back. So, got neutral knee. Halfway. Three, 2, 1. And switch. All right, we got our swings. Okay, our hip hinge, hip extension. Ready? And go. Just to about a level of my knees. Extend my hips and tighten my butt. Okay, here, here. Try not to round in those shoulders. So none of this. My chest up. Halfway. Three, 2, 1. Switch. Got 3 more minutes, 2 more exercises, and let's go to our lateral lunge. Ready? Go. Toes straight ahead, feet flat, halfway. So you want to try to go a little deeper than what we warm up with. Three, 2, 1. Okay. Grab your single dumbbell or your bottle of water. Try to get something tangible for this one. Even if you don't want to use resistance, you could hold anything. You could hold a pillow like this, okay? So whatever you have, just to kind of give you something tangible to hang on to. And think about it as like a golf swing, except that you're going to do your non-dominant side too. Okay, so ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Halfway. So remember, we're not switching this time. Doing a minute in one direction. We get a lot of volume, a lot of variety today. Three, 2, 1, switch. Last one. Ready? And go. Halfway. Three, 2, 1, and finished. So feel free, if you have this, you're watching on a YouTube or watching on, you could rewind and do another round, or if you remember the exercises, you could do another round. Wanted to give volume and variety today, and that was kind of the name of the game. We've done a lot of these exercises already, but we've never put them all together. So wanted to mix it up a little bit and do something different. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.